know how to code. Ethereum saw 483 million in liquidations, while Bitcoin faced 276 million. Recession fears and weak global economic data contributed to the volatile and subsequent sell-off in the crypto space. Recession analysts pointed to low liquidity as a key factor. I'm just a college student. Cool, dude. So you got a lot of time to learn this stuff. I do recommend you join the bootcamp. The bootcamp will show you how to automate your trading, and you'll learn exactly how to build a liquidation bot. I do go over that in the training, so feel free to jump that. There is a link below. The crypto market experienced a significant downturn with liquidations reaching near 1.7 billion in 24 hours. Ethereum, XRP, and Solana saw sharp declines, and we've been tracking these as well. So let's see what happened. Okay, this is my time, and my time is AST, which is pretty much EST for most of the year. So these are all the liquidations from last night. Starting last, you can see it started around 10 p.m. here. 10:30. 777 George, what's up, Wishy? Can see tree. I don't even know what tree is. Let's see if we can find some big liquidations here. Around 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m. Okay, they're really starting to ramp up here at 2 a.m., 201, 201, and then a big $3.7 million liquidation on Ethereum here at 2:02 a.m. And then here on, let's see what, oh, a huge one on liquidate, an 8.15 million liquidation on Ethereum at 2:02 a.m. Damn, dude. Let's go ahead and look at it real quick. We go over here, open this up at Ethereum here. It's probably around these times. Can't I get project done? Yeah, you can build anything, dude. Can we add any coins? You can trade anything you want. The problem is I can't just do it for you. If anybody just says they can build a bot for you, you're either going to have to pay them a lot of money, or if it's cheap, you know you're about to get liquidated. You can see a Doge liquidation here at $1.65 million. So we track all these liquidations because now I can backtest these ideas. You can see 1.83 million on Sol, 1.04 million on this is probably Pepe, 1000 Pepe. Ethereum here. Jose, what's up? Looking to learn, but I'm completely new to this. That's cool, man. Well, if you want to join the bootcamp, it doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner. I'll show you how to automate your trading and remove all your emotions. It's a 15-day bootcamp with on-demand videos, code, and a private members area. So feel free to join that. Let's keep looking through some of these liquidations. See a lot of different symbols here with big liquidations. So I track the smaller liquidations here, and then the big liquidations on the side. You can see Rezo had a $2 million liquidation, but I don't even know what Rezo is. Crypto here. Resolve, maybe? Binance Resolve. Resolvatory. What is that, dude? We'll join for sure. Nice, dude. I'll see you inside. I'll see you in the members area. Resolve USR. Oh, this is maybe their US dollar. No, looks like it goes higher than a US $1. No, this is $1. This is $1. This is their stable coin, I guess. Resolve. WTUSR. Resolve. Okay, here. Resolve. What is Resolve? $129 million market cap. That's one thing I do like about these liquidations is it puts me on to tokens I don't know of. The true delta neutral stablecoin that works. USR was born from the idea of a stablecoin independent from real world assets risk with yield powered by crypto money markets. Real world is an old world. Crypto has alpha. We built a new stablecoin architecture. What's so special about it? While delta neutral backing provides great benefits, it also comes with risks, and stablecoin is only stable until it's not. That is why we isolated these risks from the stablecoin and channeled them into a scalable tokenized protection layer. So if I learn, what would be the difference be from CoinGlass? CoinGlass is a data source, and you would ideally be testing different theories, different strategies, back testing them to see if they work in the past. And if they work in the past, then you can build bots in the future. CoinGlass is just a data source that watches data liquidations. Oh, you just want the liquidation alert? I actually teach that in the first day of the boot camp. So the boot camp's only 69 bucks. Um, CoinGlass is like 299 a month. So feel free to join and you'll learn exactly how to build this as well. Damn, a big liquidation on Uni here, 6.26 million. Let's go look at Uniswap. Uniswap here. Yeah, probably around this time as well. Damn, look at these wicks, dude. These wicks are nuts. Ollie says, okay, I'll join. Nice, dude. There is a 100% money back guarantee, so there's no pressure. There's no, yeah, there's no risk. There's no pressure. It's a 90-day money back guarantee. And you'll see on the first day exactly how to build these liquidation dashboards. I think they're super important to watch. So a $6.26 million liquidation on Uni is interesting. That's a big one. Okay, let's see what else there is. Stark. What is Stark? STRK? STRK. Okay, Stark Tether. What Stark is. Let's go look at it real quick. STRK. Starknet. Okay. Stark down 485 million. So are you extreme profitable from backtesting or are there mistakes? There's always going to be mistakes. Nothing's perfect, but yes, it's working for me. That being said, you'll have to find your own edge. I'm not a financial advisor, and just because it works for me does not guarantee results for you. I don't know how hard you work at this. You were just saying you actually don't want to build a bot, so yeah, I just don't know where you're going with this. Let's go ahead and keep looking through these. Ton, a big liquidation on Ton. What is Moomba? Yeah, see, when there's big liquidation events, it tees me off on all types of different things I don't know of, which is interesting. Muba here. Yo, what's up, man? Matthias. Muba. Muba Rock? Oh, is this a meme? I'm chilling, bro. How are you? I'm just trying to understand, should I give my 100% to this? I mean, I wouldn't do anything without giving your 100%, to be honest. It's only 15 days, so, spend if you want to spend 15 days learning all this stuff, I think you'll be able to answer that question for yourself. But this guy gave his 100% for a long time and built a net worth of $31 billion. So he inspired me. I can't tell you what's right for your life, but I would never go back to hand trading because it's just too emotional. And you don't have enough time. You don't have enough time in the day to just stare at these charts. Okay, so big liquidation on Pump Fun as well. So a $3 million liquidation around that same time. Damn, this must have been crazy, dude. These are all at 2 a.m. You're welcome, bro. Glad to have you here. These are all at 2 a.m. All of these, bro. All of these, bro. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff, dude. 2 a.m. The stuff was going wild. Doge liquidation here. Okay. So we've seen everything get liquidated essentially. The only thing that's actually still going up is Aster. So I think that's interesting. Miles, I've made $1 trillion this year. This is not financial advice. Anything I can do, you can do better, but I can't guarantee it. Please read this. I get YouTube strikes easily. I can't make this look like a get rich quick, so I don't even talk numbers. But please do read that. Please, please, please. It's super important. This is a very, very challenging game, obviously, because the reward is so high. So it looks like the liquidation event was at 2:03 a.m. and it started to, I mean, it still was going down all the way till 5, but the huge event was 2 a.m. And now we are all caught up on liquidations. Jose says I used to trade tips when to call and when to buy stocks, but never knew when to get out. Yeah, that's the tricky part, dude. It's the tricky part. What are you using to crunch these numbers? I just bought a new machine to run ML and RL and it can't even handle the annotation of the data. What kind of machine do you use? I use a MacBook, Crackbook, MacBook, Crackbook. You know, I got a MacBook Pro, the Pro. Ethereum, he says. What about Ethereum? You like Ethereum? What about Ethereum, Vi? What about it, bro? What about it? Mindrift, what type of computer did you get? Or what type of machine did you get? I've always been interested in buying my own machine, but then I always end up back at just using a like Lambda Labs. What machine did you get, and what made you get a machine opposed to just using Lambda Labs or Prime Intellect or something like that? That's my question for you, dude. The biggest long liquidation this year for real? Let's go ahead and see that. New Ultra 9 with the AI CPU. Damn, dude. See what type of action that is. 24-hour long liquidation of 1.62 billion. Orlando says he needs a job so bad. I'm a bit confused between the new Legion 5 laptops. Was wondering what your thoughts, experiences are. Okay. What type of job do you need, Orlando? I live in the middle of nowhere, Cambodia, so I have to do everything local. Damn, Cambodia doesn't have internet access? Okay, so it sucks up to run data up and down. Okay, I got you. Only internet is on my phone. Damn, so how do you even put that together? That's interesting. So you have internet on your phone. Oh, and then you write the code locally and then run it locally. Got it. That makes sense. Okay, cool, dude. How can I check Ethereum will go up from current point? I want to know your analysis on Ethereum. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but sounds like Uh, sounds like you need a financial advisor. Hotspot to the PC when it doesn't rain. Damn, dude. You're going through it out there. Grateful. Grateful AF, bro. But now I gotta deal with this expunging stuff. What's that mean? Are you like a criminal or something? Orlando? You got a criminal record? Alright, let's look into these liquidations here. Liquidation. Because we got all of the liquidations tracked here. It looks like for now they've cooled off, but we've tracked multiple bajillions here. And you can see here on the Bitcoin total liquidations here, they're pretty big. And then we can actually also pull them here. Let's go say cursor, close this here. Solana, close this here. Okay. And close this here. Close Binance. Let's close that all the way. Get that the hell out of there, bro. Get the hell out of there. Where's my trading bots here? We have trading bots? Okay. Let's go ahead and backtest some of these liquidations because these are always interesting. Because we do have the data being stored, right? So liquidation ADX. Data path, BTC liquidations, okay. I was in jail for defending myself on a police officer. It was total crap. I was only in there for a day till my mom bailed me out. Damn, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Gotta be careful. Can't trust those police ever. Don't trust them ever. Don't relax around them ever. Don't relax around those popo ever. Sorry to hear that, dude. Seen that happen and been in that situation before too much. America. Firestorm says was able to hit 78% accuracy with just TA lib. All the candles sorted singles, multiple candle patterns, VSA, and 2 EMAs. First runs with Optuna were like 0.8 accuracy. Okay. I want you to go ahead and make me a new folder inside of my backtest folder. And we'll call it liquidations. And inside that liquidations folder, I want you to go ahead and use the API. I think I got the Moondev API somewhere in here. Yeah, it's api.py in the main directory. And let's pull the liquidations for the last 30 days. And then put that CSV data inside of this liquidation folder inside the backtest. So we'll have that data. And then I want you to test a strategy that buys the liquidations that are over $5 million. And then also I want you to make another strategy that combines those liquidations with the BE indicator aggregator that we have. There's a folder for that. And then I want you to make another strategy that combines that liquidation strategy with the Delta ladder ADX strategy, and then a third one with the dynamic swing MFI strategy. So you have folders for all three of those. And now, matter of fact, I want you to go ahead and take more data. So get 120 days of that liquidation data. Okay, build this folder out to be liquidation, called liquidations, and do what I just said. Thank you. I've been applying to so many jobs. I hear it's hard to get a job these days. Wishy aligned us as no way, and they aren't even taking it further. I'm just going to complete the expunging today, probably. Damn, dude. Ensemble those models, XG boost, cat boost, random forest, and drop extra trees. They will sort the data perfectly. Want to see what the facts are here. The biggest long liquidation this year. Wow, dude. CoinGlass liquidation data. 24 hours is 1.7 billion. Total liquidations in the past 24 hours is 1.7 B. Biggest liquidation cascade of the year. Line is very concerned with his overnight long liquidation. Pretty sure that's the highest volume of liquidations we've ever seen on Drift. Damn, dog. No, he attacked me and I bit him apparently. You assaulted an officer? I'm on Wishy's side. I'm on Wishy's side. Don't relax around those officers ever. Especially in this state of America, dude. Don't relax ever. He was trying to hurt my pressure points, like trying to press my temple. I believe it, bro. I believe it. So it looks like this was the biggest liquidation. It looks like Drift had a big liquidation. What I want to see actually is how did Aster handle these liquidations? Because Aster Dex is new, you know? So I want to see if there are some, you can see that's a pretty big wick, but how big is it really? It went down to 11. Let's go look at Hyperliquid and look at their BTC. Their bottom was 111,159. Their bottom was 111. So it went a little lower. Went a little bit lower. Okay, so it looks like it held up pretty well over here on BTC at least. Let's go look at Ethereum. The low is 40.47. And on ETH here on Hyperliquid, the low is, oh, smokes. So Aster actually handled that better. I don't know if that's actually what it means, but you can see this bot is building out some cool stuff here. So we're grabbing the liquidation data from the last 90 days and combining it with some of our better strategies that we've tested. You've seen me go crazy in the last few days testing a bunch of strategies, and these are my 3 favorites. So I put them on the list, and now I'm going ahead and combining them. Orlando says I've been creating Markov text bots with GPT-5. You know what that is, Moon? Markov text bots? I don't. What is it? Sounds cool though. Prices finally go up per Dex meta. CZ pumps FOMO trade. Everyone gets more greedy. House dumps everything. Liquidation cascade. Everyone now broke. Thanks for playing. Oh god, this is the biggest liquidation since March, with over 95% coming from long positions. Why is an event like this important? The market is overheating, over leveraged longs need to get flushed. So, I mean, be careful out there, fam. We'll backtest some ideas based off of this. That will be insightful so you can see how things work during liquidations. While other leverage traders are liquidated, this whale adds to a 9-day hold position. The bet now stands at 72.4 million at 20x leverage, averaging down into the cascade. So you can see that she's working on the liquidation folder here. Let's go ahead and see liquidations here. Okay. So you can see we got the data, looks like liquidations. Yeah, these are the 120 days of liquidations. Sick, bro. 921. That doesn't look like 120 days to me, fam. 921. This looks like one day. Looks like one day. AVAX is looking hot. It's a pure Python, basically ML. It's basically a bot that takes two words and tries to add words in succession, almost like a text completion bot. I don't know how to make money with it right now, but it's fun to see it work. Nice, dude. Maybe there's something there. You have to add a corpus of text for it to follow, and then it just makes new ones after. Now let me create a quick summary. Okay. The biggest long liquidations of 2024 and 2025. December 2024 was 1.55 billion. And yesterday was 1.7 billion. Damn, so that was the biggest liquidation of the year. AVAX is looking hot. I haven't heard of AVAX in a minute. Okay. Scampering, she says. Okay, let me check the test results. Okay, let's see what she built. She said, perfect, Dr. Datadog. I've successfully completed all your requests for the lickies folder. Okay, backtest, liquidation, data storage. So 120,000 liquidation records pulled. 3 large liquidations found. Date range is this. Largest liquidation was 12.5 ounce. Data saved here. Okay. 120 days. I don't get that. Complete strategies built. Okay. BE indicator. Okay. Delta ladder, ADX plus liquidations. Contrarian approach, trade opposite to liquidation pressure. 5 million pressure for large liquidation detection. 4 to 6 hour look back periods for liquidation events. Complete risk management with stop losses ready to run. I think we gotta pull way more than 120,000 rows if we're looking for 90 days of data. So let's go ahead and update that so we get the actual 90 days. Maybe you gotta update it to 12 million rows and then sort through it in order to get actually that many days, you know? Have you ever created auto traders for trading futures? And not on NinjaTrader, no. Interactive brokers, yes. Are you building on NinjaTrader? 2 types of long liquidations in crypto. Liquidations in a bull market that clear out leverage and spot buyers come in to reverse it. Liquidations that signal buyer exhaustion at the end of a trend. Pretty sure that the biggest liquidation candle in history. Holy moly. Racked 3rd biggest long liquidations. Long Bitcoin liquidation, futures liquidation in 2025. Today was the largest nominal ETH liquidation since May 2021. Damn, dude. 2021? You're talking 2021, dude? That's crazy. They use C#. I'm attempting to. Nice, dude. I know Jacob Amaral. He's a YouTuber, algo trader. He builds in NinjaTrader, and he's a smart cat. Hopefully he can help out a bit. You can just YouTube him, Google that, Google him, YouTube him. Today was the biggest liquidation. Okay, the market just saw its largest daily liquidation since summer 2023. Okay, and let's see how our liquidation buy here is doing here. Okay, great. Wow, what the hell was that? 1.52 billion longs liquidated today, the biggest liquidation event of the year. One more liquidation, then up only. Largest liquidation in crypto since December 9th, 2024. Biggest long liquidation so far this year. Let's go ahead and see what's Gucci with this 90 days. That should be a lot of data. There we go, 624. Dude, you're so chill. Thanks, bro. The overnight liquidation totaled at 1.7 billion, marking the largest position washout since April. Token highlights and Wintermute node insights. Okay. Crypto markets are bleeding. A sharp sell-off. Major liquidations and growing fear among investors. What triggered it and how I'm playing it. The cryptocurrency market experienced its second largest liquidation of 2025. I'm trying to figure out if it's the first one or the second one. With 1.7 billion wiped out in 24 hours, the sell-offs were driven by coordinated selling from multiple large wallets during low liquidity session, with trading volumes lower over the weekend. Investors are growing wary that inflation remains stickier than hoped, which may limit how aggressive the Fed can be with these rate cuts. Also, U.S. bond yields touching critical support levels have added to risk off. After seeing strong gains, many traders appear to be locking in profits, especially amid signs that institutional inflows are slowing. Appreciate the pointers, Moondav, and Mindshift. Pleasure. I lost my charger now. It's my laptop, man. I need it. Damn. That sucks. Being below the 50-day EMA is bearish. But on the positive note, it's bouncing off the previous ATH support at 111,900. Sol is bouncing off the golden pocket. Not sure if the low is already in for Sol, but I've added some at 220. Same with Hype. Not sure if the low is in, but I've added some at 49 and placed limits at 46.5. Sui. Okay, so you're buying everything, buddy. You're buying everything. In trading, consistency has a price. Most of us must go through liquidations that crush you. Nights with charts burned into your eyes. Research hours till your mind breaks. Losses that tear your soul apart. Taming the emotions when greed screams louder. Mental scars of horrendous drawdowns and a lot more. 1.6 billion, dude. 1.7 billion, Moondav says. We got choppers coming through. You can hear the choppers are here again. Coming the other way now. Are we going to send it right back? We're going to have liquidations right back? What do you say, dude? Up or down from here? Let me know in the chat. Up or down from here? You let me know that and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Up or down? Up or down, dude? Remove all emotions and actually automate your trading. I can show you from a point of not knowing how to code at all. If you don't know how to code at all, I can show you exactly how to code. And then I can show you exactly how to automate your trading. You can see there's hundreds of reviews. I'll show you at the bottom. And there's a 100% money back guarantee. And the price is super inexpensive. 69 bucks. And I will literally hold your hand step by step in the process of automating your trading. You can watch this video if you want to learn a little bit more about it. But we can quickly scroll through here And pretty much everything that I wish I could find on the internet when I was trying to automate my trading is in this boot camp. It's 15 days of videos that you can watch on demand in any language, just in case you don't speak English natively. You can watch all videos at any time period of the day in any language. And I show you step by step how to automate your trading. And not only that, I give you free AI. So I pay for your OpenAI, Claude. We have channels in our Discord that give you 100% free AI, so you can cancel all your subscriptions. You have a team of us that are all working towards the same goal. We're all chasing this guy. This is Jim Simons. He ran up a net worth of $31.4 billion. And he always says you just have to make your systems better and better and better because that's what everybody else is trying to do. So I can show you step by step how to get your ideas out of your brain into an automated trading system, and you'll be able to code all of it. I spent 10 years in technology scared to code because I thought it was just for super smart people who went to Stanford or knew a bunch of math, and I was neither of those. Then I locked in because I had to automate my trading. I learned Python and I learned how to actually automate my trading. It's the most secretive industry in the entire world. Nobody else is sharing this information. So you can see a closer look of what's in the boot camp here. There's 15 full days. And on the first day, in case you don't know how to code, I show you how to code. So don't worry. I give you an intro to algo trading. I get all of your set up, get you to a place where you can backtest any strategy that you have for the rest of your life. So while I don't just say, hey, here's a bot that you can run, make $1 million, I think that's a scam. If you ever see that on the internet, which I know you will, just run away, because nobody is going to give you a trading bot that just makes you a bunch of money. You have to come up with your own strategy and your own edge. But for a crazy low price, I can show you step by step how to get to that point where you can just sit here like I do. You see me on live every single day. I show everything on YouTube. And I just test the RBI method.
We must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
And dude, I understand how emotional this game is, and sometimes you feel defeated because you're just tired of looking at these charts go up and down. You have FOMO, and then you have fear, and you're scared. You're in a position, you're in a long position, then all of a sudden you're in a short position, and all of a sudden you're using 40x leverage. Dude, I totally understand that. But that was Martin Luther King Jr., and he says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep going. And I know trading can rip your heart out. The sad thing about trading, which is like not good for entrepreneurs or people who like to work really, really hard and just bang down doors and get anything done, like you and me, dude. You know, we're ambitious, we're data dogs, we're curious, we're fearless. You can't just work harder at trading and get better. You can't just put more hours in. Like everything else in the world, most things you can just put more hours in, work harder, and be better at trading. With trading, you have to have patience. You cannot be greedy, and you can't be fearful. Those are 3 things that humans just can't do. So in this bootcamp, I show you step by step how to remove all of your emotions, automate your trading. I give you free AI. I give you a bunch of examples of trading algorithms. All right, so let's see here. It's my laptop, man. I need it up, I think. Bad day for hand trader, Bob said. Bad day, bad day. Careful out there, bros. Aster, though, still on the move. Let's go look at that dashboard. She's still working for us, so she takes a while. But let's go look at that dashboard. Actually, I got 2 dashboards I want to look into. First off, the Aster one. Second off, I want to look at this. Actually, I got three. Okay, this one's already moving. Perfect. Sweet, dude. Sweet. Let's see if there's any Binance stuff here. Because this is funny that we're even looking at this, but whatever. Might as well. Might as well. Because if that thesis plays out, I'm not a big believer in it, but the whole like, hey, Aster launched trying to get Binance popping again, and it does not look too popping thus far. RWAO liquidity 9K. What's up, dude? Syad, how are you, dog? 777. What's your opinion on all the meta labeling and corrective AI concept? I love that concept, dude. I love Dr. Ernest Chan's concept of using AI to just kind of select the strategies to run, when to turn them on and off. I think it's fire. I think it's super fire. I think it's super smart. Opposed to just like trying to predict price, predict something else. I love that conversation. I would love to do another conversation with him. I got some follow-ups. I got some follow-up questions for you, big dog. Did you listen to that podcast, bro? All right, this looks like a rug pull, to be honest. Yeah, I got a video on this. It was cool. This looks like a rug, but we'll watch it for a second. This one has no orders. This one's not found. Okay, let's go look at the other dashes. So first off, comparison of, look at this though. That's so weird that they jumped. This number jumped so much from here. I think something was incorrect. So HL volume is back. Good to see. Or maybe because it was a big liquidation. That's what it was. Probably is what it was. The open interest is down. What's the video title? Oh shoot, I don't even know if it's on YouTube anymore, to be honest. Moondef playlist podcast.
Welcome to Moon Traders,
Yeah,
the
there it is.
podcast where we explore.
Finish the coffee and say, what the helly? Where's the live stream? Notifications don't work, huh? I've heard that often. But yeah, this is a good podcast. So this is the name, Dr. Ernest Chan, his unheard approach to AI and trading. Okay, so interesting to see the volume back up. I don't have a specific video on meta labeling. Meta labeling. Can you please give me some context on meta labeling? There is a great podcast I did with Dr. Ernest Chan, who talked about corrective AI opposed to trying to predict price. Go ahead and explain that corrective AI and meta labeling specifically. Thank you. I think that's an interesting topic. Let's go back to this dashboard. I want to look through this really quickly while she's still working. Context left, auto compact. I think she's tripping. Continue. The download is running. This will take longer. Compacting conversation. What should I do here? I've got the data now. Oh, maybe because I have this page open. Things are getting clogged up. Yeah. That's what I thought. Continue. I forgot that if you open up a big heavy file, then it won't run as smoothly. Cloud Code or the other one. Let's say continue. Perfect. The liquidation data downloaded successfully. Now we have 12 million records fetched, 90 days of data, 4.9 million records after filtering. Date range 2024 to September 2022. So we've got liquidations all the way from June 24th. How do I sign up for your bootcamp? There should be a link here. Let me go ahead and check. Down below the video, if you go to this video that we're on right now, and then right here, Algo Trade Camp. And then you can watch this video, or you just click here, put your name and email in. I'll send you a free roadmap, and then you can join right here. So it's $69 a month, unless you want to pay for the lifetime access. But there's 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. So yeah, there should be a link in the description. Close those tabs. $1.7 billion liquidations. What I was trying to see is this. Yeah, this right here. CoinGlass liquidations here. 1.7. How did they determine that it was? Okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Total liquidations chart. This is from March. The issue, we have a data mismatch, but the existing price data CSV likely has older data. We only found 33 liquidations out of the 4.9 million total liquidations, which is the bigger issue. We need to lower the threshold. Yo, what's up, Gamezoid? How you doing, bro? What's a liquidation? A liquidation is when you're trading on an exchange. For example, Hyperliquid. They have this option up here that gives you leverage, meaning like right now it's 20x leverage. I get 20 times my money. So if I bet $1,000, I could trade much more than that. If I change this to 10x leverage, you get 10x your money. You can change it to 25x. Super sketch. It's super sketch because of days like this. I feel like every quarter, honestly every day, there's liquidations coming through. But this is when the exchange closes your position because you run out of money. If you have 10x leverage, you're betting $10 and you're betting $10 and you're actually trading 100. The price moves 10%, you're liquidated. Realistically, more like 5 to 7% because they have insurance. They close early, essentially. Mixer sketch, bro. Don't use leverage. Successfully completed the liquidation strategies project, Dr. Data. Here's what was accomplished. Downloaded 12 million liquidation records. Go ahead and see here. 58 trades, 36% win rate, return negative. Okay. 4 liquidation strategies created. Base liquidation strategy, contrarian trading on large liquidations. BE plus liquidations combined with BE indicator aggregator logic. Delta ladder ADX plus liquidations. Triple confirmation with volume imbalance and trend strength. Dynamic swing plus liquidations. Okay, 6. So it did exactly what I asked. Looks for 5M threshold, too restrictive, only 33 events in 90 days. Create an additional 1M threshold with simulated signals. Generated 58 trades with a 36% win rate. Needs better parameter optimization. Okay, let's test all these out. I don't know if she's tested them all herself or if we have to. Or if we get to, really. We get to. All right, let's test them out. Liquidation ADX here. I also want you to start working on something though. I also want you to just get all the liquidation data, so do the full download. I think you do that by not passing in the parameter of length. And if you do that, then we get all the data of liquidation data. Put it in the results folder as all liquidation data. And now I want to build some other ideas. Okay, the first idea is we're not going to use any open, high, low, close volume data like we do in the other set. I don't know if we actually even do. We're only going to use this liquidation data. And I want a simple backtest that says when X amount liquidated, if they're long liquidations, we buy with a X take profit and Y stop loss. And if they're short liquidations, we sell. Pretty much the inverse. And then I want you to go ahead and build the inverse of that file, so we can test both theories. One would be like buying the dip or selling the rip, and the other would be like a continuation, momentum type trade. Have it print out the regular stats, the non-optimized stats, so we have a baseline, but then go ahead and optimize those as well. I'll run the optimizations on a different terminal so we can continue working on things. You don't need to run them because it may take a long time. Thank you. All right, sick. So let's go ahead and look at some of these. You can see we got all the liquidation data from whatever, June, but I'm asking for more. I'm asking for more. Loading liquidation data, liquidation's 90 days. Okay. Sick. So here's the strategy. And I don't even know what the strategy is. It's okay, bro. Don't you worry about it, dog. ESA, English as a second language. That's ESL. I got English as a first language. I don't even know the difference, man. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the other ones. He says, look at ChatGPT. Thank you, dude. I will. I will. Large liquidation threshold. Total trades. Okay, that's because it was at 5M. And there's probably other things on top of that, other indicators on top of that, so it may not get a signal. Again, with this one, BE. Because remember, I was looking at MAD. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. None of these, huh? Let me create the momentum version. I'm interested about that. Here's the more regular version. Create an hourly aggregated data. Expectancy is negative 43 is awful. Run this separately. Let's see what momentum's looking like. Expectancy is at negative 119. Damn, dude. I wonder how much data it's using. 624, 2025. Hmm. Fetch all. Okay, so back to us. Full data fetcher failed due to size. Let's try it. Fetch all liquidation data. Liquidations, fetch all liquidation data. Starting chunk download from file end. All right, well, that's downloading. Let's go ahead and look at that ChatGPT. Here's a clear working model you can use on stream. What is corrective AI means earnest chance framing. Instead of asking ML to predict price, ask it to judge your own strategy's next trade. Given my base signal just fired, what's the probability this trade will be profitable? You keep your simple, transparent base model, rules, factors, or even discretionary entries. The ML layer sits on top. It decides when to act and how big, filtering false positives and boosting sizing only when odds are favorable. Dr. Chan calls it corrective AI. It's the same idea many quants know as meta labeling. What's up, Jimmy? what meta labeling is. Proposed in advances in financial machine learning, train a secondary classifier that takes the base signal plus context features and outputs P, probability of trade, signal fire. Use that probability to filter and size trades. It separates side direction from size, confidence, and risk, which is easier to learn and control. Even Lopez de Prado has referred to this as corrective AI or meta labeling, highlighting the precision recall trade-off you can optimize for sharp. What up, Jimmy? I'm doing good, bro. How are you, dude? How to implement it. Battle tested recipe. Damn, it broke. Meta labeling is the holy grail, you said? Okay. You got GPT. I got GPT. Yeah, I do. I got the 20 month, whatever that is. There's some way to get the liquid here. Matter of fact, let's just go in. API. What's API chunks fixed? When did I build that? APY. Okay, so available methods. Recommended for testing fast download. Lim equals none gets all data. Okay. 1.5 gigabyte full historical. Let's do that. Let's go down to get liquidation data. Oh yeah, I built like a Datadog. Make it easy for myself. And I just run it. Yeah, of course. Of course I did that. Okay, so yeah, this is getting all the liquidation data since maybe 18 months ago now. We'll see if this downloads. What's up, Tonix? How you doing, bro? Okay, so let's see. Keep your base strategy. Momentum, mean reversion, OFI, GOFI, funding drift, pattern rules, or even discretionary calls. The base just when it trade exists. Either defined, success equals 1, fail equals 0. Using the triple barrier method, take profit, stop loss, and or max holding time. Whichever hits first sets the label. This turns was the signal worth taking into a clear binary target. Build the meta feature set. Only info available at entry time. Damn, so this is broken, dude. All right, let's try the chunker. There's a chunker in there. There's probably a reason for it. Also, let's get rid of all of these files here. Right data. HTML. Sneak them in my delete. Yanni, what's up? Max down. Camped out. Yeah, dude. Here. And Addy. Okay, so max chunks to download, target last 400 days. Getting complete liquidation data from file end. This downloads the full 1.5 gigabyte data set. Recent data first. Target complete 1 year data set. See if this works, I suppose. Okay, so create the meta labels for each candidate. Okay, we read that. Whichever barrier hits first sets the label. This turns was the signal worth taking into a clear binary target. Damn, so we couldn't get the file size. We couldn't get the data set. Okay, let's do this again. I keep getting the connection error, connection broken. Please don't mess with the original API or API chunks, but build a file that tries to get this data from the server. It's a Ubuntu server. I'm just pulling it from. It's my own server. And let me know if there's anything that I can do tapping into that server to see if there's anything to fix it, or if this can be done on this side. It's essentially just a big old CSV sitting there on the server, and then we call it from this API endpoint. So let me know if I need to log into that server and change anything. But you got this. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing through this. This is interesting. For each candidate trade, define success equals 1, fail equals 0. So build the meta feature set only if available at entry time. Base signal strength and direction, recent hit rate of the base model, regime and microstructure, volatility spread impact, trend state, funding skew, OFI, liquidity depth, time factor, session, day of week, event calendars, risk context, correlation, clustering with other active bets. Train a calibrated classifier. Start with logistic regression / XGBoost. Calibrate probabilities. Plat or isotonic. Use purged, embargoed cross-validation to avoid leakage in overlapping bars trades. Optimize thresholds to maximize strategy level metrics like Sharpe or drawdown. So it looks like your API endpoint itself isn't reachable from your local machine. The connection is being refused before we even get to large file issue. Here's what's happening. Server is not accessible from outside. Doesn't make sense because I think it works when I do limit, let's say 50,000. Limit none. Run it, dude. Starting chunk download. I'm gonna look at the server because that's the only thing I really can do right now. host. Logging into the server. Open folder. What was that? What was that noise? Oh, that was probably my server sound. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought that was the cursor noise now. Okay, so connection refuse or whatever. Let's say screen ls. Okay, screen ls. And then now I'm looking for licks. BNB licks. No, not BNB licks. I'm looking for API. Screen R attached to that. Oh yeah, too much data for declared content length. What do I do about this? I still got cursor, okay. I got cursor locked over there. I got cursor on the server still. Don't have Claude Code. Kinda have Claude Code, but not really. Okay. I get this error here. Can you please fix it? This is on my server. You see where it's at. But every time I try to download the full data set from my other computer here, hitting the API, it gives me the incomplete read. I'll give you the error from the computer as well, but the incomplete read 199. And it should work. So I could actually download all the data for the, I don't know how many gigabytes it is, but please update it. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and give it this this right here. Perfect. So I can zoom back in. We got some updates we got to make to the server. Looking at the error logs, I can see you're having issues with the fast API server where the HTTP response content length header doesn't match the actual data being sent. This is causing a local post error, too much data for declared content length on the server side, and incomplete reads on the client side. Let me first examine your content server setup. Now I can see the issue. The problem is with file response being used for large files. With fast APIs, files response serves very large files. It can have issues with content length calculations, especially for files over 1 GB. Let me create a custom streaming response that properly handles large files. Okay, that's sick. That's really sick. So let's see if we can fix it server side. Now let me add custom streaming function and update the CSV endpoint. Now let me replace the problematic file. Now let me update the copy by endpoints. Let me install requirements, fine. I need to install fast API. They're already installed, dude. They're already installed. Okay, you can just do all that. So build the meta feature set. Only info available at entry time. Base signal strength and direction. Recent hit rate of the base model. Regime and microstructure. Volatility, spread impact. Trend state. Funding skew OFI. Liquidity depth. Time factors. Session. Day of week. Event calendars. Risk context correlation. Clustering with other active bets. Train a calibrated classifier M2. Start with logistic regression, XG boost, calibrate probabilities. Use purged, embargoed cross-validation to avoid leakage in overlapping bars trades. Optimize threshold to maximize strategy level metrics. Not raw AUC. Decision and sizing policy. Filter. Take the trade only if P is over P. Threshold chosen on a PR curve to cut false positives. Okay, sick, dude. I got the server back, so let's get this going while I read through this. Python server.py. Initializing. Okay, sick, dude. Let's go ahead and run this back and see if we can get it downloaded. I see the requests coming through. Streamed 1,000 chunks so far, 2,000 chunks so far, 3,000 chunks so far. Okay, we built our own streamer. That's beautiful. I love AI. We can do anything, dude. Train a calibrated classifier. Start with logistic regression, XG boost, calibrate probabilities, plat or isotonic. Use purged, embargoed cross-validation to avoid leakage in overlapping bars/trades. Optimize thresholds to maximize strategy level metrics like sharp and drawdown, not raw AUC. Decision and sizing policy. Take the trade only if P is over P. Threshold chosen on a PR curve to cut false positives. Size, scale by confidence. Caps or a fractional Kelly using your base edge and variance estimates. Turn off the base model automatically when the metas model recent Briar score or precision collapses. Deploy and monitor. Track live precision recall by regime. Recalibrate thresholds periodically and watch that your improvements come from precision gain. Damn. We still got smoked over here, dude. That's super weird. You can see that when I called it from my computer, I still got this. And then below, you can see that it said it streamed everything, which is weird. This is it. So below is our server, what we're working on right now. I have access to the code. And the above is the printout from my computer that you don't have access to. Thank you. I do like Cursor, dude. I still like it. Still like it for sure. For sure, for sure. You know? Because it's better than working in the terminal. Let's say that. But Claude gets the job done. That's what matters. Turn off the base model automatically when the meta model's recent Briar score precision collapses. Deploy and monitor track live precision recall by regime. Recalibrate thresholds periodically. Why it works in practice. You're solving an easier classification problem. Is this signal good now? Instead of a hard regression, what's the next return? Yeah, that's facts, bro. You explicitly control the precision recall trade-off, which maps directly to sharp versus capacity for your strategy. Quick example to ground it. Base rule, a simple breakout or OFI threshold fires 200 signals a day on BTC perp. Meta features, current vol, spread, order book imbalance, trend regime, funding, base score. Meta model, SG boost with isotonic calibration, P equals 0.62. Pick to maximize out of sample sharp. Result, trade count drops. 40% win rate, plus 8 to 12 PP. Sharp plus 30 to 60%. See Chan's corrective AI talks and case write-ups for real-world applications. Good references to revisit and share with your audience. Okay. If you want, I can sketch a starter notebook, triple barrier labeling, feature set template, including OFI, funding features, and a meta model training loop. Okay, this could be cool. Let's do it with liquidation data though. I've had some pretty solid back tests based off liquidations. Problem is that they assume the perfect fill, which is tricky. Explain how we could go ahead and use this corrective AI on top of our liquidation data. So, we'll be taking the signals and then sending it to the model, the corrective AI model, in order to classify it as a, trade or no trade, or long or short, or yes or no, essentially. Just give me some examples so this all makes complete sense. Thank you. All right, so see what's going on here with the API. I see the issue. The server is successfully streaming the data. As we can see from the terminal, it completed streaming, but your client-side code is still trying to get the size using a head request, which is failing. The problem is your client code is using the old approach that relies on the content length header, but our new chunked streaming approach doesn't set that header, which is exactly why it fixes the original problem. Let me look at your client-side code to fix this. User is running the client side from their machine. Since I can't directly access, let me create a new client script that properly handles chunk streaming response. The issue is that the old client is trying to get the content length header to determine file size, but our new streaming approach doesn't provide that header. Let me create a fixed client script. I need to fix the API key issue. Let me check if there's an API issue. Let me fix the client and copy the API key. Now let me test the fixed client. Perfect, the fix is working. The client successfully downloaded the entire 1.98. Let me create a summary document on your machine. Perfect, okay, so problem solved. I've successfully fixed your large file download issue. Here's what happened. Root cause, your server was using file response. Okay. Server fix applied, updated your server at their server. Now files over this use 100 megabytes, over 100 megabytes use streaming response. No more content length header conflicts. The fix works perfectly. We successfully downloaded 1.9 gigabytes of data. 30,000 chunks, no more incomplete reads. For your local client, your API needs to use the new streaming approach instead of trying to get file size with head requests. I've created a complete working example on fixed API client. Okay, so I'll go. So where is that? Under Algos, fixed API client. Okay. we kept getting the error above, so I worked on the server side and we made some updates so we stream it ourselves instead of running into the error of some package that didn't let us stream. So we stream it ourselves and we have to make this key change here. This is what they said below, and then the codes below that. All right, sick, dude. I love AI. As long as you just keep putting the time in, you're gonna get further. It's not like you're gonna just sit here and do nothing all day, every day. You're just gonna sit here, tell Claude to do some things, and some things will turn into some things, and then they'll turn into some other things, and then you just keep pushing. Keep pushing, dude. 200 a month. 200 a month. I'd use program to fetch the signals. What are your thoughts on this approach? I'd use program to fetch the signals. What are your thoughts on this approach? Like building bots to fetch the signals? I guess I'm unsure. Unsure with what you are saying. So I can see the issue. The current API is trying to get the file size first using a head request, which fails because the server is now using chunk transfer encoding. Let me update the download complete chunked dataset method to use the new streaming approach. Okay, sick. We're communicating between two different AIs right now. Two different servers. Okay, this is interesting. Awesome. Liquidations are a great substrate for corrective AI meta labeling because they produce sharp information risk are rich shocks but are noisy to trade. Here's a complete fill aware recipe you can drop on top of your liquidation signals. Oh, that's a good idea, dude. That's a good idea. Because they produce sharp, information rich shocks that are noisy to trade, here's a complete fill aware recipe you can drop on top of your liquidation signals. What we're doing, base model, fires a candidate trade when liquidation patterns occur. Capitulation long lick spike equals fade long. Corrective AI meta model. At the exact signal time, take only data you truly know then and classify the candidate as a trade / no trade, and optionally long or short. When a calibrated probability, P, you then filter and size by P. At the exact signal, take only data you truly know then. Build liquidation driven base signals. Detect events in real time. Common archetypes. Capitulation fade contrarian. Trigger when long liquidation's notional value exceeds a z-score or percentile threshold. Versa rolling baseline and price drops x BPS. I like this in general. Fade the puke. Squeeze fade contrarian. Symmetric short liquidation notional spike with fast up moves plus upper wick. Candidate size short. Continuation after cleanse. Momentum. After a massive long lick spike, if price fails to mean revert within Y seconds and market buy OFI stays positive, candidate equals short continuation. Useful base metrics at detection. Burst C-scores and balance. Impact ratio. Price moves. Amount liquidated. OI change. Funding skew. Spread top of the book. OFI. Volatility ATR. Or realized. Label with fails in mind. Classic meta labeling uses the triple barrier. We'll adapt it so labels are fill aware. Entry model, choose one. Make it consistent with live. Market taker, entry price. No fantasy entries. Meta features, only what exists at signal time. Impact elasticity. Train the corrective AI. XG boost. Concrete examples. Capitulation fade. Okay, this is some interesting stuff. Let's see if this works. Dr. Datadog, I've updated the API to use the new streaming approach that your server team implemented. Nice, dude. Nice. Let's see if it works, though. Okay, I see the request on my server here. I don't see any streaming yet. I'm gonna ask this. Don't code anything, but what would the implications of this if I moved this data to ClickHouse? Would it be easier to download the data from the API, or what are your thoughts there? What are your thoughts? Just want to hear your thoughts. That's it. Just your thoughts. Okay. Moving your liquidation data to ClickHouse would have significant impact. It says 62 megabytes downloaded so far here. Downloaded 1,000 chunks. So moving your liquidation data to ClickHouse would have significant impacts on your data architecture. Let me break down the pros and cons. ClickHouse advantages: performance and scale, columnar structure or storage, perfect for analytics of 23 million plus rows. Compression, your 1.9 gigabytes CSV could compress to 200 to 400 megabytes. Query speed, your 1.9 gigabyte CSV could compress to 200 to 400. Aggregations that take minutes in pandas would run in seconds. Incremental updates add new liquidation data without re-downloading everything. Better API design. Instead of downloading massive files, you could offer liquidations by symbol, liquidation by time frame. Liquidations, fried liquidations, broiled liquidations. No more 1.9 gigabyte transfers, crushing bandwidth. Download only what you need. No need to load 23 million rows into pandas every time. Potential challenges. Infrastructure complexity. Need to set up and maintain ClickHouse server. Data ingestion pipeline for new liquidation data. Backup replication strategy for production use. You can see it's still going. We're at 562 gigabytes or megabytes now. So potential challenges of ClickHouse: data ingestion pipeline for new liquidation data, backup replication strategy for production use, API redesign would need new endpoints for different query patterns. Clients would need to adapt from download everything to targeted queries. Pagination for large result sets. Development overhead, SQL query building and validation. Connection pooling and error handling. Schema evaluation. Schema evolution as data structure changes. Keep current system. This is a recommendation. Plus add ClickHouse. Keep your current CSV API for backwards compatibility. Add ClickHouse as a parallel option. Yeah, that's a play. Offer new endpoints like liquidations query with SQL-like parameters. That's the play, dude. Monitor which clients use bulk downloads versus targeted queries. Best of both worlds. You could implement this progressively. Week 1, set up ClickHouse, ingest your current data. Week 2, add basic query endpoints alongside existing CSV API. Week 3, update your own trading bots to use targeted queries. Month 2, encourage API users to migrate over for better performance. Okay, this is actually pretty good because you can see this takes a long time. Oh, damn. Is this just happening? Dump right here. What's going on here? BTC. So this was, let's see here. What's the total? 1.53? That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, we're almost done. Yeah, this is just too slow. But I'm getting 1.9 gigabytes of data. Still too slow. What sniper bot do you recommend? I recommend you build your own, always. Because worst case scenario, you learn some cool stuff. You learn to code. I don't know if you know how to code already, but that's the best skill to have in your bag. Build anything forever. I want to think about this. So perp dexes that are available. Perp dexes. Perp dexes. You got Hyperliquid. You got Aster now. I played around with Hibachi, Extended. Yo, Armin, what's up, dude? 777 to you as well. Thank you. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Wow, that's beautiful. How are you gonna react? All right, so this is still downloading. Guardrails and pitfalls, leakage. Features must be computable at signal time, no future bars. Overlapping events. Use event spacing or downweight clusters. Embargo and CV. SIP. Include failed launches, quiet regimes, liquidation regimes, change. Slippage drift. Re-estimate slippage latency distributions by volatility regime. Keep a margin of safety, stress quantile, in labeling. Capacity capsize by expected top of book within, fill within trial T, probability T, I think. If expected fill is under your min viable size. Deploy checklist. Real-time event builder. Rolling liquidation OFI vol windows. Emit candidate with a frozen feature snapshot. Entry forecaster. Live slippage and fill prod models. Conditioned on spread, depth, wall, size. M2 interface, calibrated P+. Filter rules. Risk, volatility, scale, TP, stop loss, circuit breaker on meta, calibration drift. Telemetry. Log every candidate taken and skipped with features, P fills, outcomes, weekly threshold tune, TLDR. Treat liquidations as candidate generators. A meta classifier decides if and how big. Using labels that bake in slippage / fill reality. You'll typically see 40 to 60% fewer trades, plus 8 to 15 PP win rate, and material sharp gain if you calibrate on stressed filled labels and police execution with slippage and fill caps. Yo, what's up? 4777. Let us encourage one another. Hebrews 10:25. Okay, so we're almost there, I think. 1.8 gigabytes. I want to go ahead and see. I know I have some lick back tests here somewhere. Let's start in the folders. Okay, look at that. We got it. Loading into a data frame. Sheesh. 777, dude. Thank you. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got the data. Our new method of getting the data works. It just takes a bit of time. A bit of time. FVG, gap strategies, ICT, liquidations. These are the liquidations. RSI divergence, seller exhaustion, super trend, trend impulse, trending, volume by 2x reversal. Six four intra short. Turn 11%. Sharp ratio 2.81. Okay, we got the data. That's far. Liquidation ADX. Liquidation ADX2. Okay, so are there any other lick strats on here? All right, let's just try to run this. Where was this saved at? First off, did we get the data for real? I think we should have. Bots, data, IB data, lick data, it should say. Moondev API, funding, lick data. Shit, I don't know when that's from. 5,000, no way. 1.85. Reveal and Finder. Reveal and Finder. When did you bring yourself here? Today at 10:35? Yeah, that was 3 minutes ago. Lick data full here. 1.99 gigabytes. So we did successfully get the liquidation data. That liquidation data is available to everybody that's in Quant Elite, but you can't get into Quant Elite until you're inside of the bootcamp. So I post new code all the time there, and it's link in the description. But yeah, you also get the API access, which is pretty sick, pretty sick. Do you like meta landing? Yeah, I do, dude. I do like it. Appreciate you bringing that up today, dude. I think that's a cool idea. Let's go ahead and see what this liquidation ADX does here. Running backtest with ADX filter, okay. So it's using a date range 5/16, okay. Okay, so you can see this is a good profit factor, good expectancy. So what I want to do here, yes, there we go. Now we're going. Okay, so what was the return on this one? 77% versus 50% buy and hold. Let's look at that ADX2. Hey there. Okay, let's grab the new data then. Because we are data dogs. Lick data full. Let's go ahead and test it, all of it. Let's go say dot CSV. Okay. Let's go ahead and paste this in here. And let's run it, dude. Let's run it. 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 Oh, what? No such file directory as CSV. There's not two CSVs in there, bees. Sheesh. Sheesh, dude. Sheesh. All right, it should be running here. No date time. I've got all the data. Lots of licks last night. This is what I'm trying to do, is use licks to improve my current strategies. Nice, dude. There we go. We're on the same page. Let's see what I'm doing in this other one. I know I just don't have the headers there. I'm just trying to think of the best way to attack this. Actually, under liquidations ADX, I think. Yes. So this was the first one. Let's go look at that .csv. Okay. It says we have that, huh? Okay. BTC liquidations. So it's under data licks. And just seeing how I process this data. Can you look somewhere in my or this whole GitHub and try to figure out where I process my data, my liquidation data specifically? Because I've got the data now from the server and it's like 2 gigabytes, but there's no headers there, so I must have like a processor, a preprocessor or something. Just search. Don't code anything, just search. Okay, and let's say Hyperliquid data. So let's go to bots. Active. Bots. Hyperliquid data. Lakes. Okay, there's no headers on these either, but on these there's headers. So what I'm looking for is where the heck do I have that processor? Pre-processing the data. Who's gonna find it first is the question. I'm gonna delete this folder if there's nothing in it. Optimization results, delete this as well. Research. Results. Tick data. Interactive brokers, dude. Okay, here we go. So, debug liquidation data. I found where to process your liquidation data. Based on my search, here's what I discovered. All your liquidation strategies use the same consistent columns. This processing logic appears in fetch liquidation, robust, fetch all liquidations, pure liquidations, liquidation based strategy. The main API side has the raw data parser, debug analysis tool, which analyzes liquidation data. pattern all your processors, check if the liquidation has 13 or more columns. This is why your 2 gigabyte file without headers works. Your code expects raw data and adds the headers itself. In the liquidation folder, where it's under data, MoonDev API. I'll link you to it, but go ahead and put a liquidation README there that explains the headers needed, or the headers. Yeah, the headers explained in that README of the liquidation data. You know them from above, but since I'm gonna need to know that information, pass it into the builder every time, essentially. Okay, so sick. Ah, damn. It's all good. I can just go back. I got unlimited, dog. Ish. Unlimited ish. Unlimited ish. Unlimited ish. Copy relative path. Aster just launched Hyperliquid perps with 300x leverage. Oh my god. That's insane. Not